So, hey, as folks are coming in, go ahead and do this for me. Do me a favor. Throw your big win in the chat. And so, big win doesn't mean this monumental win, it's an acronym. It stands for again in gratitude. So, throw a big win in the chat and we'll be rocking and rolling here shortly. It can be a personal big win, it can be a business big win. We would love to hear from you. I've got Coach TJ on the call with me. He's going to be helping run slides. He's going to be helping answer questions, field the chat. And so you've got two BOP coaches on the call. That's two brains, always better than one. So, all right. I'm showing 1 o'clock, TJ. So we're going to get rocking and rolling. So, hey, here we go. BOP's February Masterclass from Beyond the To-Do List, the Masterclass on goal execution. Hey, my name is Brent Whitaker. I'm one of the coaches here at BOP. Before we get going, let's lay down a couple of ground rules, or I like to say strong suggestions. I can't tell you what to do, but I can strongly suggest. If you could silence your phones and shut off the notifications on your computer, do that. You've bought this time, right? And if you've been on our masterclass before, we say this all the time. Chaos is waiting for you right outside that door, and it's flooding into your phone as I speak. So silence those. Additionally, studies have shown that you remember things better when you write them down. So I'm going to lean into one of our core values at BOP today. Write it down. So grab something, type, grab a pen, grab some paper, and write down one or two things that really resonate with you that you can actually implement. We're going to actually work on this today. So we're going to have a lot of writing down. I'm not being militant by asking you to turn off your distractions. I'm actually being compassionate so you can be fully present, because we all know being present is a gift in and of itself. So, hey, here is my big win. This is what I am grateful for. This is a picture of my girls. So you can see here, this is snow in the low country of South Carolina. We were on the coast of South Carolina. 3 weeks ago, we got snowed. That's my wife of 10 years, Lee Whitaker, my daughter, who is 4 and seeing snow for the first time. That's Ada James. Not posted here is our dog, Ollie Mae, our black lab. So I am surrounded by girls in my family. So today we're talking about beyond the to-do list, right? Because we're always going to have the to-do list. This is a masterclass on goal execution for both life and work, because they necessarily intersect. So why are we doing this? You always have to, you don't always, I strongly suggest you define the why. There are many statistics around setting goals. So why are we doing this today? Well, Gail Matthews says, based off research, people who write down their goals are 20% more successful in accomplishing them than those that did not write them down. Another interesting fact, those who set actionable tasks for their goals and initiate weekly progress reporting tend to achieve 40%. That's a huge jump more than those who did not. And this trio found out that goal clarity, that's a big statement. Goal clarity has a direct influence on overall motivation in the workplace. So it's clear setting goals has a major impact on your actions. But how do we start? How do we start? We're going to get to that, but I'd love for y'all to write this down. A dream or vision written down is actually a goal. So it has to be written down to be a goal. A goal broken down is a plan. A plan acted upon is a result. And we all want results, right? Or what's the point? You know, if you're like most folks, there's no judgment here. I'm guilty as well. New Year's hits, resolutions, goals, they're set and they don't work. And this mentality, this mindset is, we got 365 days to get this goal, this resolution complete. It can always wait till tomorrow, right? Procrastination. This was funny. I just saw this about 3 weeks ago. Maybe y'all knew this. There is actually now a national quit day. It's the second day in January. It's actually a celebrated day. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Goals, this is important, need to have a short-term component to them, and they need to be achievable. So how can you leverage short-term goals ultimately for what we want, long-term success? Well, here we go. You got to identify a few, no more than 3 short-term goals that move you closer to your vision. Write down, right? We talked about writing it down, exactly what needs to happen to achieve that goal. And importantly, schedule the time you're going to spend on getting them done. So before we dive in, it's important to note this is huge. If you do not have a vision story, not a statement, a story, then we highly encourage you to write down the vision. What is the vision? It is asking yourself, what do I want? We start here with all of our clients. Why? So there's alignment with their goals to their vision. There's alignment from their goals to what they actually want. Earl Nightingale says it best: people with goals succeed because they know where they are going. They know their vision. They know where they are going. How do we get there? We talked about why. Let's talk about how. So at BOP, at Business on Purpose, we use 12-week plans. We have derived these from Brian Rand's book, The 12-Week Year. It's a great, easy read. I would highly encourage you to pick that up off of Amazon. Go to your local library and read the 12-week year. 12-week plans, they're a tool we use. We use them ourselves. We drink our own Kool-Aid, and we use them for our clients. And it helps identify short-term goals and tactics of how we're going to achieve them. So I mentioned earlier, you don't want more than a few of these at a time. Don't have more than 3 at a time. We call them 12-week plans because if you can identify, write down, and schedule out 3 goals every 12 weeks, you're actually achieving 12 short-term goals per year, leading you to long-term success, to your vision, to what you said you wanted in your vision story. So, hey, here's what we're going to do going forward. This is where we kind of roll up our sleeves. By the end of this masterclass, if you lean in, you will have built out part or your entire 12-week plan. That's right. That's where we're going. We're not just listening today. We are working on our business. Hey, I'm a business coach, and a role, who doesn't love Ted Lasso? And a role of a coach is not just to teach, it's to get participation. So we're not just listening. We're building these out. That is why I really do want you to be here, to be present. So I'm going to give us a detailed example of what these look like, of how we coach these and teach these and implement these ourselves. And then you'll be creating your own. So this is about the time you say, hey, I know what you're thinking. I can't. You don't know my life. I've got so much going on. I've got so many to-dos. Let me push back on that. So I'd love you to lean in. If you do not identify, write down, and implement these goals that are going to lead to long-term success, that lead to your target, to your vision, to what you want, you will stay in the weeds. You'll stay in the chaos. You'll be pulled off track by the latest and loudest voice. And there is a ton of that out there right now. Hey, so let's get real. Let's look at an example. One of your goals, let's say one of your goals, update the sales process, right? We're going to update the sales process. Hopefully you have a sales process. If not, we're going to update it, right? Or you're going to build it. If not, we're going to update it. It's a great goal, but remember, key statement: dream written down is a goal. Once it's written down, a goal broken down is a plan acted upon is a result. So we have to break it down and act. That is why we must add at least, and here's where people go wrong. They write out about 3 to 4 tactics. We require 8 to 10 steps or tactics underneath your goal. And these tactics should ensure results, which is what we really, really want. So let's dive into an example. If your goal is to update the sales process, your tactics could look like this. Number 1, review the current process. Number 2, identify areas of weakness within that sales process. 3, identify the areas of strength that need to remain in the sales process. 4, read 2 books on this. Good to Great by Jim Collins is a great one. 5, make a list of new strategies. 6, write down the new sales process on a document. You can see how granular we're getting. 7, share the new process with key leaders. Get input from your team. They may see something that you don't see. And make a detailed sales script for our salespeople. Upload the new sales process into your MPR, your master process roadmap. If you don't know what that is, that's a game changer for our clients. 10, train the team on the new sales process at your team meeting, which I hope you're having. And once you have your goal and your tactics identified, you want to color coordinate the process. because visual markers are huge. We use red if you haven't started that tactic. We use yellow if it's in the works, and green if you've got it nailed down. So in theory, here's the deal. If all these tactics are followed, these 8 to 10 tactics are followed and achieved, you can be sure that you have, well, you've hit your goal and you've got your result of updating the sales process. PSA, public service announcement. You bought this time, right? You bought this time out of your week to be on this masterclass. So I do want to say thank you for joining us. I also want to say that you're going to be tempted to push this off to next week and the week after next. And then it just doesn't get done. Please don't do that. Take this time that you have already invested and work on this now with us. So here's what we're going to do. In a few minutes, I'm going to play some background music. In theory, if I can get it working, we're going to put up a 2-minute timer. What I want from you in those 2 minutes is to identify one goal that you want to complete in the next 12 weeks, because we're hitting Q2. I mean, February is done. We're about to jump into Q2 in no time, January, February, March, and then we are in Q2. So in the next 12 weeks, what is one goal that needs to be bite-sized that gets you one step closer to the vision you have for your business? Maybe it's updating a specific process. Maybe it's obtaining 5 new clients. Maybe it's hiring a new position for your company where there's a gap. Whatever it is, write that down. If there's one thing that keeps populating your mind, that's probably the thing. Write that goal down that you want to accomplish in the next 12 weeks. All right, let's roll. I'll set the timer and we will come back in 2 minutes. What is that one thing? All right, we are back. If anybody's like, hey, I like that tune, that's Amos Lee. Put that one on a sunny day and roll your windows down. If it's not your thing, that's all right. All right, so I'll start us off. One of my goals on my 12-week plan is to create 6 pieces of video content for Business on Purpose. So that is one thing that will help us move towards the vision that I can get done in a 12-week period. So, all right, here's where we get active participation. Who is willing? And if you don't, I'll call on somebody who is willing to share one goal that they wrote down, right? Write it down, one of our core values on their 12-week plan. So come off mute and share that with us. Love to hear it.
Hey, yo, it's Benny.
Benny Denmark from Bluffton, South Carolina. What do you got?
So I signed up with Builder Trend, and so just getting trained with those guys, and got a rep over there that's going to be working with me just to get the software set up and everything. So next 12 weeks for me, that's one of the things I've got to do with them is just go through their training class and just get familiarized with everything so that I can start implementing bids and proposals and things like that, adding client information. So that's one big thing for me.
Hey, love it. My clients who maximize Builder Trend really thrive. A lot of folks will use 10% of their software, but if you maximize that, it is an absolute game changer. So listen, you know me, Benny, if you tell me something, I'm gonna hold you accountable to it. So you'll be getting some random text from Coach Brent. One more person share. I'd love to hear another goal on your 12-week plan.
All right.
Mr. Terry Russell.
Yeah, so I have a masonry construction company that I've been trying to grow from a business into a company. So my 12-week plan here is to really buckle down and organize my company processes of operation.
Love it. Love it. We can give you some recommendations there. So Terry, I appreciate you sharing that. All right. Hey, thanks for sharing, y'all. We are going to do this one more time, but this time, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a 3-minute timer on, give you a little more time, play some more Amos Lee. And I want you just to start listing what are all the possible steps you can take to get closer to achieving said goal. So remember, this is the brain dump, 8 to 10. If you're 1 or 2, 3 tactics, you haven't peeled back the onion enough. So I'm going to put up the timer here in a minute, and 8 to 10 tactics for you to achieve that goal. All right, 3 minutes starting now. We'll rock with 2 DJ TJ, and then I'll add some downtime because this is a little bit more work.
I don't know where my 3-minute timer went.
All right, we'll give you guys about another 45 seconds to a minute. TJ's just going to roll that timer back. All right, all right. Here we go. So here's the deal. In reality, this is a really simple but powerful tool. It's identifying, it's writing it down, it's implementing, and it's time bound, which is awesome. So 3 minutes is up. Hope you got some tactics down. I would love to hear a couple folks come off mute and say, hey, give me 3 or 4 tactics that you wrote down in relation to accomplishing that one thing that we just defined. Who wants to share?
Well, let me be brave.
Yes, I like it. And we share the same accent. It's awesome.
All right. I
Go ahead.
never got around to 8, but I did at least 4. And so I got building an organizational structure that is easy to operate. Spend at least 30 minutes of each day going over current process in the next 7 days. Identify each area of challenges and address issues of concern based on experience. Find new systems or revise current system that can be used to improve current operations.
Terry, I love that. Keep thinking through what the additional tactics are. And I would also say, for that time slot, block off time to work on this. That'd be a helpful tip. Just block off time. Don't try to find time. Block off time each week that you're going to work on your 12-week plan. So that's awesome. So, hey, thank you all again for sharing. And again, for being on the call today. And after this, I hope you can see like the importance of short-term goals and how you can leverage those goals for long-term success. Here's the kicker. Short-term goals, like anything else within your business or really life, they don't mean anything if we don't implement. Like the final missing piece of the 12-week plan and short-term goals for you and your team is implementation. I will take a half-baked plan with full implementation versus a perfect plan with half-baked implementation. Implementation is key. We quote this all the time. I love this. Joe Calloway says, vision without implementation is hallucination. I'll say that again because it needs to be heard. Vision without implementation is hallucination. So I'm not joking. I want everyone right now to put a time on your schedule, right? This is one of those strong suggestions to review your 12-week plans. Not some hypothetical Friday afternoon might work. That doesn't work. Pick a time when you're going to sit down, turn off your distractions. The world will still be there when you get back and finish this 12-week plan. Add it to your schedule, like I was telling Terry, and make sure you show up for your time block. After that, go and implement these with your teams. Pass this gift down. This is a simple, effective method that will change the way you get to results. Have a set time during the week with your team where you're reviewing each other's 12-week plans and the progress that you're making. This is so important to us at BOP. I get the luxury of running our team meetings, and we talk about this once a month at our team meeting. We pull these up on the screen and we just go through them because we want accountability and we want results. So let's make sure that happens. So how can you implement a live copy of this template today? What we used to do is just give our templates away, and then we would follow up, and we'd be super bummed because nothing had happened. Nothing had moved, right, on the template. They hadn't started any of the work. And so what we discovered, and Dan Miller used to say this, if you're not paying, you're not paying attention. If you're not paying, you're not paying attention. So we're going to make you pay with something that's far more expensive than your money. You need to pay with your attention and your implementation. We want you to have this live template, okay? So there's a powerful way for you to get this template. You can get on a 15 to 30-minute Zoom call with one of our coaches. They will walk through any questions you have. It's almost like, hey, pick our brains, ask us anything, and then we'll get you set up with the template. And then 2 things will happen. 1, they will send you on your way and send you 2 follow-up texts to see your progress, to check in on you. Or they will tell you how you can become a client of Business on Purpose. And it's your choice, and there are no strings attached. So what we've got, if you want to take an opportunity to meet with a coach that's going to answer any question about business that you want and get you this template, and check in on you. Or if you want to learn more about how to become a client of BOP, we've got a form. TJ, are you able to throw that form in the chat?
There you go.
You got it? Boom.
Yeah, man.
That's why you're DJ TJ. So fill out this form and we'll have one of our coaches reach out to you and you can pick our brains. All right. So TJ and I are going to hang on for a few minutes. So, hey, y'all got any questions now? We're here. You bought the time. We want you to maximize it. But seriously, put a time on your schedule to complete your 12-week plan. Send me, I'll put my email in the chat. Email me with your completed 12-week plan and I'll send you some BOP swag. Okay. All right. So, hey, we're going to conclude this time. If you want to hang on and ask questions, please do. But I'm going to throw my email in the chat and you can shoot me an email when you have your 12-week plan completed. And that's 3 goals, 8 to 10 tactics each. 3 goals, 8 to 10 tactics each. So, all right. So you've got the form to fill out if you want to meet with a coach. You've got my email once you actually do the work, and I'll send you a little something. So now I'm going to open up the floor to questions. Anybody have any questions for the coaches? They're going to make it easy on us. It's called Stump the Coach. Stump the Coach. Keith, I think I saw you smile there. Maybe I made you laugh a little bit, or you're listening to something totally different. I know you're driving, brother, so you don't have to come off mute.
I have a question.
Yeah, fire away. Who we got?
This is Jim.
Hey, Jim, what you got?
So how granular is this goal? Let me give an example. I need to increase marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like 16 different ways to do that.
Okay.
Should my goal be increased marketing, or should it be a subset of what?
Well, that's a great question, because we can be overwhelmed. It's like turning on, there's all these streaming services and you can watch 9,000 channels and you're like, you scroll for an hour and you're like, I'm out. I don't even want to watch anything now. So what I would say is, first, part of that plan on your goal is to identify where 80% of your business is coming from. And what are the top 3 sources that's giving you 80% of your business?
Mm-hmm.
So I would identify that. And then underneath that, you can get granular of how you're going to strategically attack those 3 lead sources, right? Because what we want to do with marketing is we want to turn people into prospects, right? That's what marketing is. We want to get the people out there into prospects. And then sales is getting those prospects into purchasers. And then we want to turn those purchasers into promoters by how we do our business. So if we're doing a really good job after we've taken those people to prospects and those prospects to purchasers, then they become our promoters because of how we do our work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question, Jim.
All right, let me be brave again.
Yes, sir, Mr. Terry.
All right. Sorry, I didn't realize my camera wasn't on.
Oh, that's all right. Good to see your face.
So my overall goal really is to turn my business into a company, meaning that hit all the growth marks and just have it run by itself, right? Take myself out of it. That is my total overall goal, right? So my 12-week plan right now is to organize the process of operations. So how can you guys help me? It's like I said, during the 3 minutes that you gave me, I will identify 4 tactics.
Right.
So, I need to start thinking more tactical as far as how to get this done. But how do I block out my daily operations? Things that have to, when I come to the office, I start doing, and start moving into getting all the stuff integrated into my daily days.
Yeah, and I want to drill down on that. There's a lot there. And so this is where I would say fill out the form, hop on a call. It doesn't cost you anything but your time, right? But you're going to get a lot of wisdom. Hop on a 15-30-minute call. Let one of our coaches unpack that with you. And I wouldn't start anything before you actually write out the vision. When we have our clients do a vision story, it's talking about, hey, what's the detailed snapshot of the future of my business? What do I want my family and friends to look like? Rhythms in that area. What do I want my culture to feel like? What do I want financially? What are the products and services? So it's very granular. I would definitely, like I said in the masterclass, start with the vision, because without vision, people scatter, right? And the other beautiful thing about vision is the clearer vision, the fewer the options, the easier the decisions. That's a great one to write down. The clearer the vision, the fewer the options, the easier the decision. And so clearer the vision, the fewer the options, the easier the decision. And so book a time. We'll unpack that. We don't have enough time today to unpack fully what you need. So take that 15, 30-minute freebie from us and get coached up a little bit, and they'll get you the template as well.
Okay.
Where are you calling from, Terry?
Houston, Texas.
All right. Sure. How's the weather out there?
Sunny right now.
Right on.
Beautiful.
Got a lot of clients out in Texas. We coach about 115 across the United States, and we've got a lot of Texans. So we love our Texans.
It's a beautiful place for business, that's for sure.
Nice. What's your business, Terry? I'm
a mason contractor.
Nice.
I got a question.
Yeah, fire away. Who we have here? Is that
this is Hutch Lango from Katy, Texas.
Hey, Hutch.
So I'm a realtor, and during your first 2-minute exercise, I wrote down 4 goals, and I'm looking at one of them now, thinking, well, I can't really see an immediate set of top tactics. So I'm wondering if I got too granular from the get-go.
Well, all right. So how we coach it, because we could all write probably 20 different things down there. What are like top 3 in this quarter? So if you look back at the end of, let's use Q2. Let's say we started rolling this plan out in April. At the end of Q2, we look back on that quarter and go, these 3 things were huge needle movers for my business. Like, these were things I really needed to get accomplished. Keep just those 3. And then say, hey, future, because, hey, you get 4 quarters. Anybody that watched the Georgia-Alabama football game, that was a tale of 2 quarters. You lay a goose egg one quarter, you come back fighting the next quarter. And that's the beauty of short-term goals. And so I would look at it that way. And here's what I would really highly encourage you to do, right, is have 2 business goals and 1 personal goal, because life and work necessarily intersect. Your business can be thriving, and if your personal life is in the dumpster, doesn't matter. And so I always coach, and most of my coaches follow suit, 2 business goals, 1 personal goal that are the biggest needles for this quarter that you're planning. And so I was in real estate forever. I was on site sales, so I didn't do general, but I sold for the Nationals, D.R. Horton, Pulte, local developers in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where I grew up. So what was that 1 goal that you felt kind of might be a little bit ambiguous or too detailed?
Well, I wrote down add 100 people to my CRM database.
Yep.
That, now looking back at it, that
might be under a major goal. That might be under one of your other major goals, like because you want to increase, like you want to sell,
right?
You want to sell, and so part of that might be, hey, I need to get more people in my pipeline where I'm taking them people from prospects to purchasers to promoters.
Yeah, that's a tactic. That's a strategic tactic to accomplish that boost of sales for sure.
And TJ and I
started to think when I looked back at it.
Yeah.
Yep. You nailed it.
Thank you.
TJ and I did not plan on both wearing green BOP shirts today, but hey, it's getting close to St. Patty's Day.
And to Herbert, what TJ just said a while ago, I think quite a few of us wrote down these 12-week tactics, but they are more strategic tactics. So we probably all need to, because we got big visions.
That's right.
So you give us 3 minutes to think. We're thinking big, we're thinking huge, right? So we need a little bit more time to get a little bit more granular. And I think that's where the 15 minutes with a coach would come in handy.
And before that, Terry, this is what you say. Hey, at the end of Q2, if I accomplish these 3 things, will be the biggest mover towards what I want to accomplish in the long term.
Yeah.
Again, you got 12 of these per year. So think, what are the biggest needle movers this quarter that I can accomplish to help me get what I want, my vision?
Yeah. Mine is a little bit more challenging, though, because mine is going to be more about organizational structure as far as into the office and not job site related.
That's all right.
So in the context, that's where the challenges lie, doing stuff that I don't like doing, paperwork. I mean, I'm okay on the field, but I spend all day on the field and not making the money, and then come back to the office with a ton load of stuff to do, and just get tired just looking at it.
Yep. TJ,
I just realized that I forgot how to write.
I'll say, Terry, going back to Brent's point, the vision is really the driving force behind this. Writing down exactly where you want to be at in 2 to 3 years is going to allow you to put those goals in place much, much easier. It's going to clarify so many things for you, for sure.
100%. Those two go hand in hand. If the vision's not there, we are scattered and we are pulled, right? That's the latest and loudest voice is pulling you this way or that way. Write the vision down. Where do you want to go? All right.
It keeps you from the distraction. It keeps you from the distraction.
Good stuff, y'all. All right. Any last questions before we send y'all into a weekend that I hope you get some downtime on?
How much a business on purpose training normally costs?
We can talk about that on our coaching call, Mr. Terry. Here's what I'll say. How much is your sanity worth? So, running a business is hard. I don't play lightly on that. Being a business owner is very hard. 90% of businesses, 90+% of businesses don't make it 10 years. It's not easy. Nobody teaches us how to run a business. You may be great at masonry, but running a business is not taught. So jump on a call for sure. We can talk you through that.
And nobody really teaches about next steps, right? After you get your initial goals of, hey, I want to make a couple $1 million. I mean,
for sure.
What about the next step in growing a business and let it stand on its own?
100%.
That's a whole different ball game right there.
Well, we've got a lot of free resources. Our podcasts are short and sweet, and how would you articulate our podcasts? They are just not ethereal. They're like, all right, if I go implement what this podcast just shared with me in 12 minutes, it's going to be a game changer. So you can check out our podcast. You can check us out on YouTube or iTunes or Spotify. It's My Business on Purpose. You just type in My Business on Purpose. We've got a masterclass every month. This should maybe be a part of your rhythm right now of growing your business, is being on our masterclasses every month.
Hey, Brent, and to that point, hey, Terry, our next masterclass is actually going to be all based around our master process roadmap, which is going to be something that would be huge for someone, transferring their company into the business, right? Getting those processes in place. So that'd be a great one for you to jump on next month for sure.
Oh, man, I think I love this community right here. I like this conversation. I love this conversation. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. Did I hear somebody else chiming in for a question, or was that it? Thought I heard something.
I was just going to tell Terry that the podcasts are straight and to the point. I think you were looking for something to describe it. So the ones I've listened to, yes, they're straight and to the point, Terry. So they're definitely, if you're looking for information, man, their podcasts are definitely something you want to listen to.
Love it.
Okay. I'm not the only one having this issue, all right?
No, no, absolutely not.
I'm going to throw that in there. If you have Spotify, just threw that in a link.
It's on Spotify too?
Yeah, it's My Business on Purpose. The link for Spotify is in the chat. I just haven't had that pulled up. Yep. So you can check the chat and you can just click that and book a time with the coach. And I appreciate y'all's time. Now go implement, finish out these 12-week plans, and we will see you next month if we don't see you sooner.
Hey, does this link automatically goes to our email that we use to sign in on Zoom?
What's that?
Does this link, the session link, automatically goes to the email that we sign in on Zoom?
I don't know. TJ, I don't know.
I don't know. I know the form that I placed in the chat room, that will go directly to one of our coaches' emails, and then we'll reach out and we'll get a time set up with you if that's what you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the recording, if you're on this call, you'll be sent the recording up to date.
Yeah, that part. We'll
there you go.
Put the jelly on the biscuit. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, and we will talk soon.
See you guys. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks.
See ya.
Yeah, bye.